Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Eric here. I am one of the education specialists here at Easton Learning and Life Center, and we are back for a new video. In today's video, I'm going to be starting some seeds. These are cold crops, so like your broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, lettuce, things like that that prefer colder, cooler temperatures. We're going to start those today. I believe in the next 2 weeks we'll start back our garden sessions, back in the garden with the students. So I want to prepare some of the cold crops in order for them to grow to maturity, at least the quicker ones like the lettuce and the spinach that we're going to do, so that when the students start with us in the garden, they can practice planting cold crops. Before we get into the video, make sure that you subscribe, like this video, comment, share this video, and don't forget to click the notification bell to be notified of when we drop new videos. So let's get into it. Okay, so I brought you in a little closer. So we're going to be using this Miracle-Gro seed starting pro mix. Is it pro mix? Potting mix. It has perlite, fertilizer, and peat moss in it. If you have not watched our video here or here, talking about ways to reduce, recycle, reuse in your garden, I believe a small portion of that video we discuss what peat moss is, where it comes from, and how we can choose other things to purchase or things in the garden versus using peat moss, because the harvesting methods of obtaining peat moss, it's very damaging on the earth. So instead of using peat moss, you can use things like coconut coir or just other additives that are soft and perfect for growing seeds. So right now, this is all that was available to us. So we're gonna just use it, okay? And some of the seeds that we're gonna be starting today, we probably won't be able to get through all of them because I do have to edit this video and other videos, so we're gonna just do our best, right? So we have Brussels sprouts, and I'm gonna give you a closer view of what each variety is. We have wild thyme broccoli, hopefully I pronounced that right, green sprouting calabrese broccoli, Toi choy pak choy, which I loved growing. I loved growing last season. Georgia Southern or Creole collard greens, Napa cabbage, prize head lettuce, giant noble spinach, iceberg lettuce, sweet marjoram. And this is a herb. I've never grown this. I've always heard about it in cooking. I think you can use marjoram in like sweet dishes like desserts or pastries maybe, or maybe just savory, not sure, but I'm really excited to grow it with the students. Gourmet blend lettuce, and finally early snowball cauliflower. I'm really crossing my fingers because we've been able to germinate the cauliflower and get it to like a nice seedling size, but never fully grow it. So hopefully we are able to do that this spring. Alright, so all I'm going to do is just prepare our little pots here. Well, you guys are not Cricut, but I'm just going to lay out our pots here. And I'm so glad that we have these trays, which helps out so much in the garden, in the greenhouse rather, with starting our seedlings. I'm just going to pour it over all of the trays. What I'm going to do now is just cover it, all the trays, all the holes. Some might fall out, but it's fine. I'm just going to try to keep most of it in your container. I'm trying to make sure that each hole in these pots have the same amount of potting mix. I'm gonna get my water I can't even say it. My watering container and just wet this so that when the seed is in and I water it afterwards, it doesn't settle too much and move around too much. Because if it moves around too much, it can go all the way to the bottom of the container where the holes are and wash out, and we don't want to lose any seeds. So let me go ahead and water right now. We're using this craft stick that we are also using to like label each seed variety that we're planting. We're just making shallow holes in the seed starting trays because whenever you're starting your seeds, you don't want to plant them too deep because, as I will say or have already said, if you put them too deep, they could wash away, and we don't want them to wash away before they even have a chance to germinate. So we're just going to put them in the holes very shallow, and we're making one hole. We can separate the seedlings once they reach a certain size of maturity. But it's up to you. You can either do one hole, you could do several holes. It's really up to you, or you could just spread them across and then put more of your potting mix on top and pat down. It's really up to you how you want to actually start your seeds. But this is the method that really works for us when we start our seeds with the students. So we have our tray right here in front of us, and let me get a marker real quick. And the reason I got a marker was because we need to do our labels. A lot of the times I tend to forget to do the labeling of our plants, which means that I have to wait until they reach maturity to know what's what. So we just did iceberg lettuce. This tray, then giant noble spinach, the first one we did was prize head lettuce. All right, moving on, we're gonna go ahead and start on our broccoli and cabbage. So with your cauliflower, you wanna make sure that you start in January, February to give them enough time to grow. A lot of vegetables like your broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, collard greens, kohlrabi are in a family called Brassicas. This family was developed from a wild mustard plant. It was a very long time ago. But scientists were able to take away different parts of the wild mustard plant in order to cultivate these different vegetables that we now have. And so all of them are related, and it's so fun to actually be able to grow all of these different vegetables that are literally connected to the same plant. So I'm now finishing up with the broccoli, and I'm gonna do my labels before I forget. So that was the Waltham, I cannot pronounce that word, Waltham broccoli. And the other one was early, I just put early Y, cauliflower. Alright. And the last three vegetables that we will be planting today will be the marjoram, collard greens, as well as Brussels sprouts. And this is the catskill Brussels sprout. In the next coming weeks, we will be releasing videos under our series called Life Cycles, where we dive into discussing how to grow certain plants, like your butternut squash, your tomatoes, green beans, how the varieties are developed, how did these plants come about, and how to grow each one of them. You can watch this series here or here. We do have some videos under that title, and like I said, we will be coming out with more videos very, very soon. You can see those seeds. This is the sweet marjoram. They are very tiny, tiny, tiny seeds. So we're just gonna lay these on top of the potting mix so that they have direct sunlight. Because if we cover them too much, then they're not gonna have that access to light and they're not gonna grow. So we're just gonna sporadically spread them across the surface of the peat moss, blend, and hope for the best. Hope for the best. I will, once we're done, I will sprinkle just a little bit of the potting mix over them, just to give them some type of covering, but not too much. Last but not least, collards. Alright, you guys, that's the video. We have planted 8 different plants, vegetables, including an herb that will be growing very, very soon. It takes about, I would say, 4 weeks to have a nice, 4+ weeks to have a nice cauliflower broccoli seedling. Like the collards, lettuce, and spinach, those are gonna grow not too fast, but they're gonna, have a steady growth pattern. It won't be too long before we have seedlings from those plants. I'm not sure how long the marjoram will take, since those are tiny seeds. We will see. I can still see them, which is good because they'll have direct sunlight access. So fingers crossed, guys. Thank you guys so much for being in this video. We hope you learned something about, Brassicas if you didn't before. Make sure to keep watching those videos in the Life Cycle series. We will be producing more videos like that. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, share this video, click the notification bell, and we will see you guys later in the garden. Bye.